You know, when I was in high school, I remember the guys used to dress so sharp. They would wear their Lee 12 pants in different colors and get the permanent creases sewn in at the laundromat or at the dry cleaners. They would take their new Lees to the dry cleaners to get those permanent creases sewn in. Do y'all remember that? Also, having their sneakers, they would wash their sneakers every day, get their white shell top Adidas and their fat laces to match their Le Tigre or Izod 3-button collared shirt. Remember that? Or they would wear those leather ties and leather blazers. And if they were part of a crew, they would determine what day of the week they would wear their blazers and their ties and their Cazell glasses and Kangol hats. And, they would wear their bomber coats with the hood and the fur. I had one of those too. Their sheepskin coats and sheepskin hats to match. I had one of those too. Pulling their pants all the way up, wearing a belt, tucking their shirts in, just looking really neat, wearing their gold chains. And at the most, the thing that, would maybe be a little risque was when they would wear their gold caps on their teeth. But other than that, they were representing. They were always sharp as a tack. And I remember there were these pop-up stores that came up in this like little shopping center near my house, and it was just like I don't know, they had like a pizza parlor in there, a store that was similar to like a Woolworth, but it wasn't Woolworth, a supermarket, just some knick-knack, paddywhack type stores. But I remember this pop-up store came up in there. It wasn't huge at all. It was really small, but they sold all the colors of Lee twill pants. And the twills are not denim. It's like a heavier kind of material. I call it twill. You might call it something else. But they sold all of those. They sold jeans, they sold Le Tigres, they sold Kangos. I remember the Cazell glasses. Some of them had lenses in them, some of them didn't. Most were not even prescribed. They were just glasses that they would wear. And those were the days, when everything matched. They just were really neat. They ironed their clothes, nothing wrinkled. Everything was their size, very fitted. So now I'm talking to the over 50 crew, because that was you back in the day. I'm talking the 70s, the 80s, and part of the 90s. It's a little part of the 90s. That's kind of when it started turning left. So I'm just trying to understand, and please leave me a comment and let me know, where did we go wrong? Where did we decide that dressing nice, showing up as your best was not necessary anymore? When did that happen? I'm just trying to understand, because the youth that are not dressing like that are either our children. So if they're in their 30s, because it started probably 30 years ago. All right. So I graduated high school in 1987, and I know at least up until, because even through college, so until at least 1995, I want to say, we were dressing like that, really just sharp. That's one thing I love about my husband too, is that he always, even as a big man, he knew how to dress. He knows how to dress, never, nothing out of place, just custom suits, nice jeans, just dressing nice, not to impress anybody, but just to, show himself the best way, to present yourself the best way. Because how you show up, how you look, that's part of your brand. And now, since 95, I believe it started around 95. So 1995, that's our generation still, people just started not giving a damn, wearing their pants where you can see your underwear. Who does that? How is it comfortable to wear your jeans or your pants under your behind, on the top of your thigh? How is that even comfortable? And it keeps growing, this style of dress keeps growing. And then people wonder, why don't I get any respect? Why am I not getting these opportunities? Tuck in your shirt. And it's not just about what you have. And listen, people will say, well, everybody can't get. Well, what you do have take the best care of it. Make sure that it's well kept, it's clean. You can still wear it so that it's fitting your body. Pull your pants up. Listen, when my children were younger, especially my daughters, I would always, if we saw someone sagging, I would just be like, ill. I would be like, ill. Because I never wanted them to think that looked okay. I never wanted them to be good with that style. So I would always be like, ew, you can see their underwear, ew. Like, why? I wish they would pull their pants up. They would never say anything. They would never agree with me. But to this day, my daughters never date men with sagging pants. My son never sagged his pants. My husband made sure of that. And I told my son, if I see you out there sagging your pants and out in those streets, that's how you representing our family doing that. When your friends come over, I'm going to sag my pants and let's see how that look. He never sagged his pants, needless to say. But why are we so afraid to talk to our young people about the dress code? And I'm not saying you have to dress like everyone else, but the fact that you're sagging like everyone else, you already like everyone else. What boardroom are you going to be in? We are brilliant people. We have so many opportunities out here. And everything is not virtual. Everything's not from the waist up. I saw a man with his kids, and I promise you, his pants, and he had a belt, but it was under his behind. How do you do that? And so it's changing the way people are walking. The gait of people is changing because their pants are so saggy. They got to walk with their knees spread out so their pants don't fall down. When they run, have you ever seen anyone sagging run? And they got to hold they can't even be the best athlete they can be because they're so busy trying to hold up their pants. And I'm looking at little babies because, your kids, they see you walk. Your kids end up walking like you, right? So I'm thinking there's going to be a generation, whether they're sagging or not, they're going to walk as if their pants are sagging because that's what they see. They're going to be walking with their legs spread out as if they're trying to hold up their pants, and they're not even going to be sagging. That's just the new gait. So I'm asking the over 50s, what went wrong? Why was that the option that we decided to stick with? And then I remember when the clothes were extremely baggy, and my husband always, wore a 3XL. And it would be so hard for him to find those shirts back in the day, X to LT, because he's 6'6" as well. And it would be so hard for him to find those, like t-shirts, just regular t-shirts. And the men at the department stores would be like, yeah, the young thin guys come here and that's what they buying. They usually will wear a small or medium, but they get into 3XLs. What? When did that become like, yeah, that's how we want to do it? I know fashion change. I know styles change, but dang. And I'm hearing that, students are wearing slippers to school, pajama pants to school, bringing blankets to school. When did that become okay? And I know people are saying, well, Coach Sherri, teachers, parents are choosing their battle. But you know what? Within every battle, there's mini battles. And you still got to keep your finger on the pulse for those mini battles, because those can explode to bigger battles. So I feel like every battle is relevant, and that's why it takes a village. It takes the partners, it takes the family, it takes the community. I knew something was really, tides were starting to change when one year, for basketball season, my daughters would have to dress up for their games. And they loved that. They loved, dressing up before the games, home games, away games, whatever. And my one daughter, and my daughters are tall. I'm the shortest one in my family, and I'm 5'7". I'm the shortest one. But my center daughter is 5'10", and she had on these boots that she's like 5'10", 5'11", and she had on this black turtleneck, a corduroy skirt from Banana Republic. It was a black turtleneck with a brown chestnut corduroy skirt, and it was a mini skirt. It came above her knee. She had black opaque tights on and black suede knee-high boots that had like a 3-inch heel. So again, she's 5'10", 5'11", 3 inches. She's over 6 feet, right? My kids never tried to minimize themselves. They never roll their shoulders. They never try to, stand on one hip to be shorter. They embrace their height, and I love every minute of it. I think it's the most amazing thing. And so my daughter is walking, I guess, going to class and stuff, and she's towering. I know she's towering over everyone. And her coach, who was also the in-school detention teacher, she called me around maybe like 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock that day. And she was like, Miss Boom Boom Boom, I have your daughter here with me, and we had to pull her from her classes because of what she has on. And I was like, what you mean what she has on? And so she described it. And I'm like, yeah, I greenlit that all day. That's what's up. That's fly, And she was like, yeah, no, it's really not appropriate for school. What do you mean it's not appropriate for school? The skirt was her fingertip length, and that was the rule for the skirt. She had opaque stockings on. She has boots on. She has a turtleneck on. She's covered up. Like, what are you talking about? And it was because she's stunning. Because she's stunning. If she was 5 feet tall and had that same thing on and wasn't towering over everyone and walking with confidence, or even 5 feet and walking with confidence, she wouldn't have gotten pulled out like that. And I was like, yo, something's wrong. She's dressed like she should be dressed. And then you got people that got these most random things, and you good with that. So what battles are we picking is my question. That's what I'm gonna title this. What battles are we really picking? And the over 50, if you are still a parent, I mean, we always gonna be a parent, once a parent, always a parent. But if you have grandchildren, be mindful of that. Pull their pants up. What the hell? It's not cute. It's not a good look at all. And it's setting them up with bad habits, and it's crossing over into the workplace, which is why people, they get frustrated. They don't feel like they fit in when they're at work because people are dressed professionally and they're not comfortable. How you not comfortable, not showing your ass? What? We have to do better, and it starts with us. We know better. We've seen better. We were better. So why didn't we raise better? I know this might ruffle some feathers, people can say whatever, but it's definitely my point of view for it, because I see it entering the workforce or not being able to enter into the workforce. And, there's other options. Start letting people know when they are doing it right, and especially around your children. Like, wow, you look really nice today. Oh, I like that on you. Start complimenting people for real, in real life, when you see them dressed the way that is very appropriate. I'm just not understanding where the grandmothers were back in the 90s when this was happening. You're not telling your grandsons, how you going around your grandmother like that? That's disrespectful. Low key, that's disrespectful. We really have to do better, because it's almost like a pandemic with it. It's crazy. And some of you might say, well, Coach Sherri is not as bad as it used to, but it's still bad. It's still bad, though. Whew. I believe the children are our future. We have to teach them well and let them lead the way, for sure. But the thing is, we got to teach them well. That's the key word right there. Teach them well. Maybe that'll be the title of this video. I'm so bad at that. They always say you should title your video before you record. And I have so many thoughts, and I don't know where my videos are going to go. So my titles never really align. But we need to, if we're going to let these children lead the way, we're going to have to teach them well. And I'm not saying it's everybody. No, I'm not. There are great people, kids. That's the thing. I'm not saying that because they sagging and all that that they're not great. They absolutely are. They're good people. But who's going to really know? Who's going to want to, get to know that? Where's that opportunity coming? Even if you own your own business, who wants to do business with that? And there might be people that do, absolutely, but you can have so much more. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. It's been my pleasure. Remember, practice every day, so when you get in, you will always play to win. I am Coach Sherri.